Tell you a little bit about Ed. He's got a fantastic story. Was a baseball player back in the day, had aspirations to play in the major leagues, had a career and almost life-ending experience that took him away from the game that he loved, okay? And that was his identity at the time. So he spent a lot of time at home, fell into depression for about a year. Dad comes to him one day and says, son, I got a job lined up for you. Be there tomorrow. Shows up, changes his life, becomes a guidance counselor, finds his identity again. Fast forward to today. Dude's taking over the world. To the majority, he is the guy in the world when it comes to self-development. Has a podcast. If you haven't listened to it, you have to listen to it. It is fire every single time it comes out. Best-selling book, Maxed Out. One of the best you'll ever read. If you haven't read it, go read it. What I love about Ed, last thing, about a month ago, he sent out his personal cell phone number to all of his Instagram subscribers, gets 10,000 texts a day, and responds to thousands of them. Why? Because he cares about taking care of people and taking over the world. Give a huge round of applause for Ed Mylett.
I want to see you. I'm going to stand where I can see you for a minute. I'm going to fall off this stage. Great to be with all of you. Get your picture and then let's roll. We're going to write some stuff down right now. You ready? So, hey, first off, thing I want to tell you, by the way, that if you can get involved with Sam on any level, do it. He's one of the best people I've ever worked with in this space. I've got to know him very well over the last 6 months. He's a real deal, a real businessman, and an honest man as well. So if there's a chance to work closer with him, I advise you to take advantage of it. Good? Yes? All right. Was that a yes? All right, cool. I want to talk about you, though. We got 1 hour. We're going to max out this hour. I want this hour to change your life. I want you to never forget it because I want to help you. The reason I want to help you is I am you. I started out in door-to-door sales by mistake, but I did, and it changed my life. I admire what you're doing. I want you to understand that. I know what you're doing. I did it for years. You can track back a $500 million net worth for me now to knocking on doors when I was a 21-year-old kid. So those of you guys in this room with a dream to do something great with your life, and you're kind of average and ordinary, maybe you're not the smartest dude in the world or the biggest dude in the world, but you want to do something great with your life, maybe I can be an example of that. Because I know what it's like not to feel great about what you're doing, to doubt whether you're doing this. And I just got to tell you something. I'm an example this stuff pays off. Okay? So I'm going to take you through some of those keys that I went through. Actually, I started knocking doors kind of by mistake. I got recruited into the financial services business. There's a bunch of these old, stale financial dudes in there, and they kept telling me, hey, our average market, we want married people who own a home who have kids. Middle America for our products, right? And I kept thinking, how come you don't just go where they live? Like, if they have a house and we know the neighborhoods they live in, why don't we just go see these people? Why are we going through calls and all this roundabout, easier stuff? Why don't we just knock on their door and say something? Can you guys teach me what to sell? Well, they thought that idea was hilarious, right? Who would actually go knock on a door? I'm like, well, I would. I just wanted to win. How many of you relate to that? You just want to win. I don't care what the hell it took. If it was legal, ethical, and moral, I wanted to win. And so to dick around with me, I'm like, so what's the script? Give me the script. This dude's name was Frank. I won't say his last name because they're all out of business now. But I remember Frank and them laughing. He's like, oh, because we were in the life insurance business. He goes, best thing to say, reverse psychology. Just when you knock on the door, when they open the door, go, you don't want to buy any life insurance, do you? I was stupid enough to think that was the real script. They were dicking around with me at the time. So I went out on that Saturday and knocked on about 200 doors, and everybody that opened the door, this dumbass little kid, me, I'd go, hi, I'm Ed Mylett. You don't want to buy any life insurance, do you? And the vast majority of them go, no, bam, and shut the door in my face. But one of them that day, said, matter of fact, I do. We just had some guy here that was trying to rip us off. We are trying to buy some life insurance, but I'm trying to find somebody ethical who could do it. I said, I'm your guy. I literally walked in their house and sold them the insurance that day. But we were in the recruiting business, so a lot of the people that said no to me, I'd say, why? And they go, I ain't making enough money to buy any life insurance. I'd say, I'm glad you said that. Are you looking for an opportunity to make secondary income? 27 of them said yes. That Tuesday night at our recruiting meeting, I had 27 freaking guests there to hear about getting recruited because I knocked on 200 doors that day. There were only 30 people at the whole meeting. I had 27 of them. And my career started to transform because I was willing to do the things other people weren't willing to do. The other thing I figured out is I was in the math business. Most of you ain't figured this out yet. It's why you're not making what you can make. The end of the day, you got to get in a bigger hurry. You got to see more people. You got to run larger numbers. If you're going to get to the top of your field and recruit more people, sell more people, you got to see more people. The flat matter is this is a competitive sport you're in. It may not feel like a sport, it's a sport. And for those of you that do more reps, win. More contacts, win. See more people, win. Y'all with me on that? Say yes. Yeah. See, you probably thought I was going to give you some like fluffy, I don't know nothing about selling speech. You got to run larger numbers, man. Hey, sister, you aren't running big enough numbers. You want to get to the big time? You want to get to the top of what you're doing? You got to run more numbers, see more people, recruit more people, and sell more people. Okay, that's the bottom line. You don't start to see more people, I'm going to smoke you. If I knock 200 a day and you knock 50, if I see 500 and you see 5, I don't care how good you think your script is, how great you are, how persuasive you are. You take a dude like me, I will smoke you. And by the way, I'm getting better and better and better at my craft. The larger numbers I run, the more I get more proficient at my message, the more I learn to close better. You with me on that? All right, so let's get to some keys, and then I'll show you some stuff. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I need to convince you. Some of you, Sam said, hey, not everybody there knows you. That's totally cool. This is a new market for me. All the stuff I sell is free. So I got nothing here today to sell you. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Ed Mylett, Mylett. My content is pretty damn good. I give it every single day for free. My YouTube's free. My podcast's free. All my stuff's free. I got one program, and it's invitation only, and I'm not even going to talk about it today. Okay? So my stuff's free. I'm just here to help you. I spent the first 45 years of my life being blessed by great mentors, great guidance, great information. I decided I'm going to spend the last 45 years of my life, the second 45, helping other people build their dream. How many of you have a big dream you want to make come true in your life? Something special you want to do? Okay, me too, and I got bigger ones. Let me tell you what everybody's dream is. Put it in your note. I don't care if you sell pest control, security, solar, insurance. I don't care what it is. Guess what they want? You ready? And guess what you want? You want to be happier. You got to link everything to people's happiness. You think, that's ridiculous. So I'm going to kill some termites. They're going to be happier. Yep. They think if you did pest control, at the end of the day, the greatest influencers get the people want to be happier. All of you want to be happier. You think if I become a millionaire, I'll be happier. If I get that baller jet, I'll be happier. If I'm making 100 grand, I'll be happier. If I lose 30 pounds, I'll be happier. If I protect my family with security, my family will be happier. People want to be happier. You think, well, maybe that applies to other businesses, but not mine. Really? You already aren't coachable. Listen to someone who's built some of the largest sales organizations. I built sales organization, medical, financial. I built them in the retail space. I understand building teams. I understand persuasion. Everything is linked to people's happiness. You know why NBA players are playing basketball? They think if they make more money, take care of the mama, win some NBA championships, everybody will be happier. Every human does something to be happier. There's this dude who sold more hamburgers than anybody in the world. What's his name? Anybody know? Ray Kroc. He's also, his organization, most people don't know this, is the largest holder of acreage real estate on earth. He owns the most real estate in the world selling hamburgers. Guess what? He didn't sell hamburgers because his hamburgers suck. You know what he sold? Happiness. Happiness. He got creative. What does a hamburger have to do with being happy? Absolutely nothing, except he created an environment where people wanted more hamburgers. People want to get recruited into teams to be happier. They think it's making money, but that's the symptom. The disease is they want to be happier. If you keep selling money all the time to people, just money, you're not going to have a very good team. But if you sell happiness, recognition, travel, success, income, all those things, that's what people want. What people want in every area of life is to be happier. You know what Ray Kroc's mascot is for hamburgers? A clown. A clown. Do you know what his number one selling meal is called? The what? Happy Meal. Turns out I'm right, huh? Turns out I'm right. This dummy knows a little bit about selling, a little bit about influence. All these dudes you see in here that are hardcore with their hats on, these stud dudes in here, they want to be happier. You know, I know when I was 21 years old and I started in this business, I wanted to be happier. You know what I want right now? I want to be happier. You know what I want in 20 years? To be happier. You know what I want for my family? Them to be happier. And I will buy products and join organizations that make me think I can be. Everyone with me on that? I think like 20% of you are. Let me prove it to you. Let me just go back a little bit. People ask me, what word would you use to describe yourself as a young man, like at 21 when you started? I would say dipshit would be a good word for me. How many of you got a little dipshit in you? Okay, all the people with their hands aren't the dipshits. The people who didn't raise their hands, they're the dipshits. Okay? Okay? I got a whole bunch of dipshit in me to this day. I don't want to lose that dipshit. That dipshit knocked on doors and said, you don't want to buy any life insurance, do you? That dipshit flew in here in a $40 million jet today, right? That I own cash. That I own cash. All the houses you see on Instagram, cash. All the cars you see, cash. Cash, cash, cash. I ain't living on debt. But let me show you how I got started. I thought when I started in sales, after a while, I've been doing it for about a year and a half. I built a pretty good team. I said, you know what? I need to start looking a little bit more successful. I need to buy a Mercedes. Remember, dipshit. But I couldn't afford a real Mercedes, so I opened up the Penny Saver, and I saw this ad where they said, kit car Mercedes down in Laguna Niguel. What's a kit car? Well, I later found out a kit car is like a Chrysler LeBaron that has welded a Mercedes body on it. So someone bought up a junker Chrysler LeBaron, stripped it, and welded a Mercedes-Benz body on it. The ideal fake it till you make it car. Well, I drove down to Laguna Niguel. This one was only $2,000. The new Benz then was like 60 grand. I'm like, how's this one $2,000? Well, I got down there, true story. Let me show you. If we can put it up on the screen. Is it on the screen somewhere? This is the ad right here. Chrysler LeBaron fiberglass full body kit. There's the ad for it. So I drive down to Laguna Niguel. I make this lady, God bless her, I don't know who she was to this day. I think there's probably a little methamphetamine involved in her life. And she had a kit car, which was already a joke, except hers was a triple joke. This kit car was a Chrysler LeBaron with a Mercedes-Benz body Velcroed to the car. This is a Velcroed together Mercedes look-alike. 2 feet longer than a real Mercedes. The inside was a Chrysler LeBaron, and the heater blew on 100% of the time, whether you wanted it to or not. This dipshit right here, building his sales team, recruiting people, dropped that $2,000 on his car. And she warned me, she said, make sure when you get to stoplights that you slow down real quick, because this thing's Velcroed together. Things will fly off the car. I want you to picture me at 21 and 22 and 23. More than 500 times the scenario I'm going to describe to you right now has happened to this man in his life that flew in on the $40 million jet. You ready? I pulled up to a stoplight a little bit too quick. Stop. The front left headlight would fly out into the intersection. I would then get out of my car in my cheap-ass suit, stop traffic in intersections, pick up my light that flew off my car, stop the traffic, walk back, and Velcro back on my own car my light. Can you imagine what the people in these intersections were thinking? I didn't give a crap. If I shut the door too fast, it would fall off. I had to lie to my team because I wanted them to think I was a baller. There was no such thing as a hybrid back in those days, but I made it up. So I went back to my guys, there's about 40 of them there. I said, hey, guys, about that time, Chrysler and Mercedes had actually merged in real life, thank God. And I got back and said, hey, guys, you guys heard about this new hybrid between Chrysler and Mercedes, right? The guys were like, yeah, I heard about it. I go, I got the first one. So when you get in this car, the inside's going to look like a Chrysler, but don't be fooled, it's a real Mercedes. Hundreds of damn times I've rolled up to stoplights with people in my car I was field training, and I'd make them get out into the intersection and pick up my light and Velcro it back on my own damn car. One time we drove to a retreat just like this one you're at right now. I had about 40 dudes, big old meeting. I got their hotel room, so I said, hey, follow me back to the hotel. So I got about 20 cars behind me, and on the way back, the cops pulled me over. I want you to picture you're leading a team. They think you're taking them to the promised land. We're all going to get rich. Ed's already rich. He's driving a Mercedes. Cops pull me over. All the guys line up their cars behind me about a quarter mile down the road. They're watching everything that happens. And cops pull me over, but they don't come up to the car. They got that light shining in my car. Then another car drives up. Then there's 3 cop cars there. And I know what my guys are thinking back there. They're like, you know, he's always wound up. He's probably coked out or something. You know, there's something. No one's that intense all the time. So finally the cop comes up. He goes, get your effing hands out of the car. I said, sir, what am I pulled over for? I was going the speed limit. He goes, you know what? I said, no, sir. He goes, get out of the car. They cuff me in front of my team, back me into the police car, and I'm now in the back of a police car. This is not good for recruiting. And I'm in the back of the car. I'm like, is this motherfucker going to tell me what the hell I'm back here for? Finally, sir, I think you need to tell me what the hell I'm doing back here. He goes, it's a stolen vehicle. I'm thinking, that little meth lady. But then I'm like, I've had this car 3 years. I got title. And he walks away, and then I go, oh, my God. I wonder if he ran the plates. The plates are to a LeBaron. This thing looks like a Benz. I said, sir, comes up. I said, why do you think the car's stolen? He goes, you got fake plates on the car, boy, and you know it. I'm like, oh, my God. You're not going to believe this one, sir. I said, officer, that's actually a Chrysler. The body's, it's Velcroed on the car, sir. My body's getting chills right now. I haven't talked about this that many times. He goes, is this turning into a DUI, boy? I said, no, sir. If you go up to my driver's side door and pull on it, it'll pull right off. It'll Velcro right off. Go ahead. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, go pull the thing off the car. Sure enough, in front of my whole team, who all thinks I've been driving a Mercedes, this officer pulls my door off, spins it, and kicks it into the bushes in front of my team. All the officers fall out on the ground. My whole team's just flabbergasted. They uncuff me, let me drive back to the hotel without my door on the car. It's back in the field because I just want to get out of there. And I got to go back and explain to my team what the hell happened. So I grabbed my best dude, name's Rob Day, true damn story, still in business with me to this day. I said, hey, brother, be honest with you, I made a lot of money driving this car. And I said, here's what you should do to get me out of this. You should buy this thing from me right now. I'm such a closer. I sold that car to him in that lobby of that hotel before my team got back. And I said, you better tell them that's a real Mercedes, dude. And he drove that thing for 3 years himself. Then he got it stolen. The cops got one block from his house and just ditched it when they figured I was a piece of shit. So that's how I started in the business. Look at this. Which one's the real Mercedes? Which one's the real one? Which one's my car? Which one's the real one? Pretty close, huh? Silver one was my ride. There it is right there. Pretty cool, huh? That's how I got started. Are any of you ahead of me? Most of you are probably in here not driving a Velcroed together vehicle is my guess. So if I can do it, you can do it. True or false? Okay, cool. Now, how'd I do it? Now you want some tips? Okay, cool. Here we go. What do these people have in common? I threw myself up there. What do they have in common? What do me and Oprah have in common? We all drove Velcroed cars? Nope. Desire, totally true. Desire to succeed. How about this group? I just get a kick out of this picture that I put Andy Frisella up next to Mother Teresa. Okay. The Rock, my hero, Martin Luther King. What do all these people have in common? They're all great business leaders. They're all great salespeople. Why? Let me tell you why. They're evangelists. They're evangelical about their cause and their mission and what they do for people. The great business leaders build an evangelical type following. Remember this. How many of you can recruit people in your business or are allowed to do that? Raise your hand. Okay. You got to sell a big enough dream that the dreams of everybody you recruit can fit inside the one you're selling. You got to get into the dream selling, vision stretching business. You got to get evangelical. You know what an evangelist is, right? Like a church leader. People ask me all the time, is that business a cult that you're running? I wish. Cults are awesome. You want to build a cult-like following. Ask Starbucks. These people just line up and buy this crap like it's a cult over and over again. Apple is a cult. You want to build a cult. You want to build a big old team of a cult. You bet your butt you do, and the way you do that is being evangelical. When people get around you, you're on fire about your cause, what I call a crusade. You want to build a great team? You got to get on a crusade. Not a mission, not a cause, that's low level. Evangelists build crusaders. Crusaders will go through anything. They'll go through dark times financially. They'll share the message. Evangelists get clients that refer them tons of people. All these people have in common, they're evangelical. That's what they all have in common. A couple things I've learned about doing that. An evangelist, by the way, is a person who seeks to convert others, especially by public preaching, a zealot advocate of a cause. That's what they have in common. Are you building that? Do you have crusaders? Are you on fire for what you do? These are the things I want you beginning to ask yourself. Crusaders, by the way, link everything to happiness. The ultimate crusader, a preacher or a minister, promising you can get to heaven. The ultimate happiness. I promise you, if you get this security system, your family will be happier. Sell happiness to people. Okay, now I'm going to talk about influence with you. A couple ironic things about closing and selling that you may not have ever been told before, but I'm going to tell you. People don't have to believe what you're saying. Is that crazy? People do not have to believe what you're saying. In fact, too many of you spend too much time trying to get people to believe what you're saying. And you come across like a beggar because of it. You seem desperate. Who's ever trained you to get people to believe what you're saying doesn't get influence. There's a subtle difference that the great ones know. And you've probably never been told this before, but I know it. And persuasion is not about getting people to believe what you're saying. You ready? Persuasion is about getting people to believe you believe what you're saying. That's a subtle difference, brother. That's a subtle difference, sister. If you start to think through, I need to get people to believe I believe this, not to get them to believe it. People buy things all the time they don't believe. People buy things all the time they don't understand. That's okay. We want to educate, we want to train, but they don't have to believe everything you're saying. If they have to do that, you're going to look like you're begging all the time. They got to believe you believe it. That's a different intention. The most certain person always influences the less certain person. When you're exchanging with a recruiter or a client, they're either going to close you or you're going to close them. And that's certainty. Certainty is influence. And you can't transfer to me something that you're not experiencing for real. You have to really believe it. You got to really be a crusader. You got to really understand it. When you really believe something, you can transfer that certainty to me. Everybody with me on that? Say yes. This is a huge deal. It's a huge deal that you need to begin to understand that persuasion is they believe you believe what you're saying. Number one, make sure you're selling a big enough dream. Third key for me in my persuasion career, everybody who meets with me gets a handwritten thank you. Everybody who meets with me gets a handwritten thank you. I want you to look into doing that. Take the time in the evening to write handwritten notes to people. In this day and age of the digital age, when you mail, you take the time to get a pen out and just write thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate the time. Great luck with your kids. Honored to be doing this with you. You make a difference with people. Your message becomes contagious. You want you and your organization to become a disease where it moves from one person to the next. They become contagious. The way you do that is you differentiate yourself by the experience you give people. Not when you're selling them, after you're selling them. And listen to me on this. Even if they say no. Do you know how many clients I've got because I've written a handwritten note to someone who met with me and said no? I know the time wasn't right for you. I just wanted to tell you it was wonderful to meet with your family. You're doing a beautiful job with them. It was an honor to meet with them. If I can ever do anything for you in the future, let me know. Do you know how many people have referred me? The next time they talk to somebody, they go, this guy came and met, spent an hour, we couldn't do anything. Guy writes me this note. It's the right thing to do. It builds crusaders, and you're going to get more business from it. Everyone with me on that, say yes. You won't do it. You won't do it. You won't be evangelical. You won't sell a big enough dream. You won't teach people that certainty is influence. You won't. But about 1% of you in here will. I already know when I teach rooms like this, half y'all aren't even writing it down. I love rooms like that. These are the people I've squashed in business all my life. I love that most people don't take anything seriously. I love that most people aren't coachable. I love that most people don't do what I teach or that anybody teaches. I love that. That's how certain people win. Half y'all haven't written a damn word down I've said. If you were in my team, I'd slap the hell out of you. I don't say that disrespectfully. I say this as a dipshit who had a Velcroed car. I don't say that talking down to you. I say, wake up! You want to win? You want to be a millionaire? You got to quit being so casual. You walk slow, you talk slow, you implement things slow, you talk a good game like you're going to be somebody, Like you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars? You can't even write a note down? You're going to get your ass kicked in business, dude. Business is a sport. It's competitive. You got to get focused and get in a hurry. You're around a dude like me, we will smash your organization. We come to play. We're for real. What are you? Cool? I've seen all kinds of cool guys my whole career. Cool guys go broke. Cool guys have little flashes in the pan. They have a good 2 or 3 years. Players who implement strategies that get focused and intense, they win decades. They win multiple championships. You win for 2 or 3 years. You know how many guys I've known that have made money for 2, 3, 4 years that are ass broke now? You got to win year after year after year to be a player in business. I'm almost 50 years old, man. I was 21 driving that car. It's a Saturday. I spoke yesterday. I land tonight and go speak for Goldie Hawn tonight. Monday I get up, I've got a loaded calendar. I'm after it. I'm not casual, I want to win. You're too damn casual. You hear me? Wake up, brother. All the people clapping, you're a player. All of you that were offended by that, I didn't say your name. You must take it, it must fit. I didn't say your name. That backs you up what I just said? Really? I didn't even say your name. It must fit. You better drop that fit and get a new one. I want you to win. I'm here. Look, I got an hour with you. Y'all paid a lot of money. I want you to kind of feel like, man, I want to be a multimillionaire. How do these people think? What do they do? What's their attitude like? I have enough humility to talk frankly with you. I'm a Christian, man. I'm your brother. Let me explain what that means to you. I'm no better than you. Same God that made you made me. I don't love my kids more than you love your kids. If you make some of these adjustments, man, you could change your life. You could change your family forever. It's not casual. Your family tree, let's show you know something. You meet somebody wealthy, their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. The one. One person changes the family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. And it wasn't because I wanted it or I hoped for it. Right? Hey, I fought for it. I fight for the inches. Give me the info. Tell me what to tweak. I like that evangelist thing. Man, that stuff about influence is awesome. I thought he was smarter than me. Turns out he's dumber than me. I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at, that he gave it everything, that he went for it. Everything he's got. That's what I want for you. I want you to be happy with you, not cool, where you fake it and front it for everybody here. I mean, when you're alone and you're brushing your teeth, you're driving in the car, you look up and go, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you, sister. And you feel it. That's what I want for you. And every once in a while, you need someone to come along and go, come on, let's go. I don't care what level you're at. I'm talking to me as much as I'm talking to you. All kinds of things I ain't doing like I need to be doing. I'm going to have a damn heart attack. I'm so fired up here. Right? Right. All right. Couple little things. Make sure you ask for referrals from your no's. People that tell you no, ask for referrals from them. Okay, we're going to get into some stuff now. Can we switch over to that other deal, brother? Okay. How many of you want to literally win? Okay. So if we could switch to the picture with my son, I'm going to pull it up in a minute. Okay? We'll get that fixed in a second while they're doing that. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story because I think it illustrates something. I think you know the techniques. I hope you know a little bit about, influence of what I've talked about, but I want to tell you about my son. You can pull it off the screen while you're switching it if you want, guys. That way the screen can be blank. So, how many of you have kids? Well, not as many as they told me. So only about half of you have kids. How many have brothers or sisters? Okay, cool. All right. So God's awesome, man. God, can you pull that down, guys, off the screen? Did they all disappear back here? They're literally not there, are they? Where'd the guy go? Are you serious? He's in the bathroom. $1 million P. Well, I need him. What the hell's he thinking? Can you pull up my other presentation? Huh? Okay. Go to the bathroom in the middle of my talk? What the hell are you doing? I've talked for 30 years. No one's ever said the AV guy's in the shitter in my entire life. I'm dead serious. He's in the shitter. Really? There's no one sitting in his seat? Dude, that's incredible. So someone go find the dude. There he is. Give him a round of applause. He's back. Pull out the other presentation, man. Bless his heart. I literally caught him at literally the worst time. We'll pull the thing on my son. Okay, so you can pull it up if you want, man. You can put it on the screen if you want. Okay, God's awesome because he gave me a son completely not like me. Do any of you have a kid that's just different than you? I don't know. Dads love to go, chip off the old block. My son's totally different than me. You could tell I'm a pretty intense dude. My son is like his mama. He's crazy like me. My daughter is crazy. My son is, my son's a sweet boy. He's a good Christian boy, loves people. And when he was a little kid, I'd see all these dads. You know those sports dads that are living through their sons? You know the guy I'm talking about? Half y'all are that guy. You're like, yeah, I know him. Right? He's going to be in the big leagues. I'm like, dude, you're 5'6", 240. He has no genetic chance whatsoever. Give the kid a break. Like literally no genetic chance whatsoever. Look at you. Stop it. Right? So I played baseball at a pretty high level, and when my son was little, we put him in sports, but I made the decision I'm not going to coach him because they're going to compare him to me. I don't want to push him. I just want him to be happy, enjoy his life. And like it would shock people who knew me. Even my wife, she's like, can you push him a little? I'm like, no, I want him. Before every game, I'd say, hey, buddy, come here. Yeah, Daddy. I say, hey, if you strike out 4 times or you hit 4 home runs, he'll go, I know, Dad. You love me the same either way, right? I go, that's right, buddy. He took it to an extreme where he would regularly strike out 4 times. And so my son was so uncoordinated when he was little. To this day, honest to God, he's 18 years old. I don't know if he's left or right-handed. And that's not being funny. Anyone who knows this, it's true. We literally went from left to right-handed catching and throwing about 5 different times. And he wasn't a very good baseball player. In flag football, let's just put it this way, those of you that have boys in flag football, my son was always a blocker. Just blocked. You know, just blocked, Max. Right? And never scored, never nothing. And just wasn't a real good athlete. And then finally, I'm like, you know, golf, he might be able to play golf. There's these golfers are sweet dudes. They got good dispositions. Maybe they would fit him better. He started playing golf, same thing, left, right. We couldn't figure out what hand he was. And we moved out to the desert in La Quinta, California. We moved there. And out there's a bunch of professional golfers. And all their sons play out there. So it was one of these, and on the tour that my son played on, you would caddy for your kid, which is why I wanted to do golf. I figured it's something he and I can do together. Same thing. Max, I love you whether you do well or not. He never did well. He's such a good boy that, like, he'd hit one out of bounds, and another kid would pipe one down the middle, and he would literally like, great shot, Evan. That was awesome, man. And he's, like, sincerely happy for the other dude. Your ball's in the house, man. You know? Come on, buddy. But I never said it. Love you, love you. And when we would show up to the tour, you would caddy. So it spends 4 or 5 hours. We would always play with a professional golfer and their son, and then me and my kid. And I'd show up in like sweats and a tank top, and I'm tatted up. At that time, I was huge. And all of them show up in like matching professional golf outfits. They look like $1 million, like 2 Ricky Fowlers next to each other. And my son played for 2 years, and he would always finish second to last or last out of like 40 players. But every week, did you have fun? Yeah, we had fun. And he'd come home, Mom, I had so much fun. We never talked about where he placed. We never talked about shots. He'd lose by 30 shots. No joke. And me, Mr. Motivator, I just wanted to love him. And we had this whole thing. I love you. Just enjoy it. Sports are about having fun. And we did that for years. Then one tournament happened. And it changed my son's life. We had played 9 holes. We were playing with 2 dads. One's on tour. They're both tour players. One of them had won a bunch of times on tour. One of them's an okay guy. One of them's a dick. Right? But we were good with them. I'd walk and talk, and, you know, me and Max are talking about, you know, the Patriots and basketball. They're talking about shots and focus. Me and Max are just having father-son talk for 4 or 5 hours. He's getting smoked. Didn't matter. We finished the 9th hole, and on this one particular course, this round, at the 9th hole, the kids get lunch. Well, in this round, we were behind a lot because Max was playing so bad. He was 12 shots down after 9 holes in last place. Okay? And the tee box was like literally where that wall is, and the lunch was like where that wall is. And we walk through the ninth hole, and we're walking, and like, where's the lunch? We find out the lunch is over there. And the dad goes, hey, Max, you're not in this, man. Why don't you go grab the sandwiches for the boys, and we'll meet you on the first tee. We'll meet you on the 10th tee. And I stopped. Indulge me for 1 minute, because if I don't tell you the real thing that happened, the real language, it doesn't have the effect. I said, what the fuck did you say to my son? Don't ever talk to my son like that, motherfucker. Excuse my language. My son had never heard me talk like that. I'm dead serious. He said, oh, I'm sorry, but he's 12 shots back, Ed. He's 12 shots back. I said, don't ever speak to my son like that again. You understand me? I said, I tell you what, you guys go up to the tee. Me and Max go get the lunch. And I walked over to Max, my sweet boy. He's still, hey, Dad, this is fun, huh? I said, get over here. I said, come here. I got down like this. I said, look at me. We're going to fucking win today, Max. This ends right now. And I grab him. He's like, wait, Dad. I mean, we're just here. We're having fun. No! You know what's more fun than fun? Winning's more fun than fun. We're going to do this. Here's where we're, oh my, okay, Dad. I said, listen to me. Here's how this is going to work the rest of the day. I pick the shots. I pick the club. You just hit them. You don't get to pick the club. You have a beautiful swing, Max. Everybody, and he did. You have a beautiful swing. You're a great player. We need to win. Dude, we're down 12 shots with 9 holes left. Okay, Dad. And I said, no practice swings. No practice swings. I'm going to go get the sandwiches. You get up to the first tee with these guys. Hit this 3-iron. He goes, no, Dad, it's a driver. I said, what? I said, hit the 3-iron, Max. Because I know he's going to spray that damn driver in the house. And he starts to walk away. And I said, come here. I said, hey, I love you. He goes, I know, Dad. I said, Max, you're a great player. It's time to win, son. Okay, Dad. Remember, last place all the time, 12 shots back, 9 holes to go. We're playing against professional golfers and their sons. Max's swing coach is numbnuts right here. Max gets up, and I'm watching. I'm grabbing the sandwiches way over here, and I watch that 3-iron. He piped it down the middle. My son kind of always walks like this. When I got up to the tee, he kind of does this number. He goes, here you go, Dad. Kind of his back's up a little bit. I go, yeah, Jid. He goes, I smoothed it. I'm like, good. And we're walking down the fairway. I got my arm on him. I go, we're going to dominate this thing today. You're going to win this, buddy. You're a great player. Daddy loves you either way, but you're a great player, right? We get up to that next ball. I said, hey, Max, it's 140 yards. I said, hit this 8-iron, 8 feet left of the hole. I said, hit it 8 feet left of the hole, and I'm anchoring it into his body as I'm touching him. No practice swing. Both these kids hit their ball on the green. Max says, okay, Dad. Sure enough, little Max gets over that ball, hits it. About 20 feet left of the pin, but he's on the green. We walk up. Normally, what's my son do when he gets to the green? Puts his ball down. Hey, nice putt, Jeremy. Nice hit. And gets over and just putts it, 5 putts, and we walk out. And he starts to do that same routine where he gets, I said, hey, line the putt up. You got this? And now he has no idea what he's doing, but he's like, okay, Dad. Kind of does this, walks on the other side of it, you know. He goes, what do you think, Dad? 1 foot left to right, downhill, slider. I'm like, you got it, man. Knock it in. Kind of just starts to pretend that he knows what he's doing. Sure enough, Max gets over the putt, takes the putt back. Thank you, Jesus. Makes it for a birdie. Yeah! He looks at me and goes, Dad, I made it. I go, we're going to make a bunch of those today, buddy. And he goes, twirls the putter and hands it to me like fancy pants. Gives me the putter. I'm like, great putt, buddy. He goes, thanks, Dad. I go, that felt good, didn't it? He goes, yeah, both those kids made par. Max is down now, down 11. Now he's down 11. Next hole's a par 5. This is where God's good when you put intention. Thank you, God, for this moment in my life. It's a par 5. I give Max the driver. I go aim way right. He smashes his driver. All 3 of them hit it down there. Both the other kids lay up. I go, Max, grab the 3-wood, hit it on the green. There's a lake in front of the green. He's like, Dad, it's 240 yards. I go, hit the 3-wood on the green, Max. We can't win if we lay up. Hit it on the green. Smash it. Not a good idea, probably, right? He goes, okay. He gets the 3-wood. I said, see the shot, Max? You see the shot? He goes, I see it, Daddy. I said, okay, get over the ball, pal. Takes the club back, and he smokes it. And I'm watching. It has to go over a lake. There's a rock wall and then the green. And it's like a million years this thing's in the air. Please, Lord, please. And it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer, closer, hits the wall. Straight up in the air from where we are. Please, Jesus. Except it was actually going forward, hits the green, rolls into the damn cup for a 2 on number 11. Thank you, Jesus. Dad, did you see that? I'm like, how good does that feel, buddy? We're screaming on a golf course, just me and my kid. The Dick's like, holy shit, Max, great shot. Yeah. The kid who was getting the sandwiches a minute ago, you motherfucker, right? Sorry. Both those kids bogey. Max picks up 4 shots there. Fast forward to the 17th hole. 17th hole, Max is down 2. He's down 2. They all hit their drives down there. I say, Max, it's an 8-iron again. Hit it 6 feet left of the hole. Max hits it 6 feet left of the hole. Now every hole, Max is lining these putts up like he knows what he's doing. He's walking with his chest back. He's a completely different kid. Lining it up. Bam! Gets over this thing on 17. He's walking to the ball. You have to know my kid to know how ironic this is. He goes, Dad, I'm knocking this in. I said, go, knock it in, man. Takes it back. Boom. Walks it into the hole. Makes it. Now he's down 1 going into 18. We get on the 18th hole. He's in second place. The one kid's 4 back. Max is 1 back of Dick's son. They both hit their balls down the middle. There's a lake on this hole, too. Max hit it the farthest, actually, so the little boy had to hit before Max. And I hear his dad go, don't hit it in the lake. I go, Max, he's hitting it in the lake. You never tell somebody what not to do. He's going to hit it in the lake. He hits it in the damn lake. I said, Max, knock this thing 8 feet left of the pin. Let's get the hell out of here, dude. He goes, all right, Daddy. He hits it about 9 feet left of the pin. This kid is such a good player, though. He hits a shot from the lake to about 2 feet. So now Max's putt. If he makes it, he wins. If he 2-putts, we go to a playoff. Now Mr. Motivator, Mr. Inspirational cracks a little bit because I just want him to have the win. And I say to my son stupidly, Max, don't hit it too far by the hole. If you 2-putt, we get out of here. My son, who's been listening to me, and I didn't know it, his entire life up to 12 years, goes, Dad, I'm making this putt. I said, knock it in then, man. Let's get out of here. And he's lining it up. He gets over this putt. Look at that. I'm getting chills. Takes the putter back. The thing's on the way. The ball is halfway to the hole. Only halfway there. Max goes, it's in, Daddy. And he almost grabs the ball. The hole goes in. Boom. He grabs it. Oh, we won, Dad. I said, Max, we did it. There's no one there. You'd think we won the Masters. We're jumping up and down. Let me show you something. Watch this. We're jumping up and down, celebrating. I'm eyeballing Dickhead over there who made us get the sandwich. Can you guys click that? Pull this PowerPoint up. Okay? Can we pull it up? This is, I don't know what happened there. Where are we? This is Max. So let me show you one of the things we did. This is just me and Max starting. This is Max warming up that day. I didn't tell you one other thing we did. This is Max warming up for that tournament that day. At that 9th hole, I said, you have that blue shirt in your bag? He goes, I got it. I said, switch shirts. You know how Tiger wins the red shirt when he wins? I said, we're wearing blue today. Switch that shirt. You're a whole new player. So Max put the blue shirt on, and this is him with his medal after he won that day. Look at his little face, right? Okay? Completely different person. Wait. There's a point to all this. He won 17 tournaments in a row after that. Okay? One here. There's Mylett, shot 64. This is what he looks like now. There's a little bit of a difference. And this is Max 2 weeks ago signing his golf scholarship to go to college to play college golf. Right? Right? Now, why do I tell you all this? Why do I tell you all this? Because there came a point where we stopped playing and we decided to win. We intended to win. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you'd make that shift, I'm going to win. We're going to play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once he decided to win, and by the way, once you start getting some winning, you start changing. Your walk talks. You talk different. You walk different. This whole human being changed that day. And then he backed it up with another and another and another. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number one in your office, number one in your region. Yeah, I know there's some dude way out there, just like he was 12 down. There was no reason to think it's you. No one on planet Earth before that day would think this boy would be a college golfer. Are you kidding me? Not even a high school golfer. Not even close. But he changed. You can change. And when you start stacking up winning and you decide to win, your life can change. I want you to decide that today. Are you with me? Say yes. That's a big deal, man. It's a big deal, sister, that you just decide, I'm going to win. And when you start stacking them up, you're a different person. I'm a totally different human being than I was 5 years ago. In fact, one of the things I want to tell you about, how much time do I have? I don't even know what I got. It doesn't even matter. Cool, I'll keep going. I got time. It's all good. So listen, one thing you're doing that's killing you, you're doing what poor people do. I was poor. You know what you do when you're poor? When you walk in a store, you flip price tags over everywhere you go. You don't get what you want. You get what you can afford. Don't you? I know what that's like. I'd walk in a store. I didn't even think about what I wanted. I'm flipping the price tag over. What's it cost? What's it cost? What's it cost? That's what people who live in the middle and the bottom always do. Successful people stop negotiating the price in their life. You know what's stripping all your success? You keep negotiating the price you're paying. It's stealing your energy, aren't you? In your mind, man, all the work I'm putting in, it's not paying off. I don't see my family as much. I got to do all this. You start negotiating it all the time, and it's zapping all your damn energy. Why don't you just decide to stop paying the price or pay it? Successful people don't negotiate price, they negotiate worth. Could this be worth it to me to pay this? And once you decide it's worth it to win, it's worth it to be somebody, the negotiation stops. There's got to be a point, man, where you stop negotiating in your mind, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Half you came in here today, not sure you're going to stick it out, not sure how long you'll run because of the price. Oh, it's so much. It's costing. I'm so tired. I'm not making what they told me I'd make. My family thinks I'm crazy. Right. Right. Just keep doing that, man. You think that's healthy? You think you're going to win doing that? You imagine Grover's clients, Jordan, sitting there go, guys, this price, all these sprints, man. Whew, yeah, I don't know, man. You imagine doing anything great negotiating the price? You got to stop negotiating. Do you hear me? Yes? Just stop doing it to yourself. Is that other presentation up there, brother? It's okay if it's not. Is it up there? You're good, dude. I wasn't even going to cover this, but I'm going to cover it because it's giving me some time. Let me show you one thing. It's a brag thing, but it's a humble brag. You know what those are. That's a house of mine. It's one of the most, Grover's been there, Sherry's been there. It's one of the most spectacular homes in the country. It's on Lake Coeur d'Alene, and literally anybody who's ever been there, I don't care how much money you got. I met Peyton Manning this week. He's like, Elway tells me about your house, dude. It's bananas. It's a pretty cool house, right? And let me tell you the story about that house. How many of you have somebody in your family who thinks you're nuts to be doing what you're doing, or did at some point? Me too. Well, let me tell you, one of those situations was I was doing pretty good, and I drive by this land. There was this land here for years, right? Just this land. It was the best spot on the lake, man, beautiful view. This dude used to sit outside, and he had this little cabin. Where that gold cabin was like a dilapidated, the bottom left there, this dude had this little place there, like a dilapidated, like MacGyvered together and wires hanging out. He'd sit on that balcony and smoke his cigars and drink his whiskey, and I'd drive by in my little cheap boat when I had no money, and I'd go, hey, man, you ready to sell this place to me? Which I had no money. No, man, not yet. Everything's good. I'm never selling this place. So for years, I'd drive by. My dream was to buy this land and build a big old house on it. About 7 years later, I keep coming by every summer. One summer, he's out there. He goes, hey, he's waving me down. I'm like, what's up, man? His name was Richard. He goes, I'm ready to sell. I'm getting divorced. Come on up. Let's work out a deal. And my wife was with me. I'm like, shit, you think he wants money? We don't have any of that. So anyway, I work a deal out with him where I give him like my boat. He owes me money, a bunch of sea-doos and some cash, and I stumble into owning this place. Oh, and I gave him my house. My family's like, what are you doing? It was already pretty good. Was life so bad before? Why do you have to have more all the time? Does that sound familiar to any of you? What's wrong with where you were? I mean, it's not so bad. I'm like, I always want more, not just material stuff, but just growth in my life. I want to grow. I want to improve. So I buy this land, and I bring out the first contractor, and he's laughing as we're walking. He's like, so you weren't planning on putting like a house here, were you? I'm like, well, of course I am. He goes, well, didn't you wonder why there wasn't one here already? This thing's all rock, and there's water running through everywhere. You got natural springs everywhere. You can't put a house here. I went, what? You can't put a house here, man. I'm like, oh, my heart starts racing. I'm like, my family was right. I've lost my damn mind. I'm in a mess. Holy shit. And then I bring another one out. No. I'm like, oh my God, I've ruined my life. Finally, I find a guy, this old Idaho dude. He's like, well, you could put one here, but you'd have to blow up the hill. We'd have to jackhammer the hill. I'm like, really? That whole rock hill, you'd have to, he goes, well, how else are we going to build a house? You got to rock, plus there's all these natural springs, and we got to divert water, so we got to jackhammer the hill. I'm like, okay, so what's a jackhammer cost? He's like, $30,000 a week. Whew. How many weeks we talking about? You talking like 1 week? I don't know, man. Once we get after it, I can tell you. My wife's like, you idiot. What was wrong with where we lived? People asking you, what was wrong with what you were doing before this door thing? I'm like, well, okay, start hammering it. 7 months later, and all my money, and rock everywhere. I'm talking, look like Beirut after a bomb. I'm going to be a little over, guys. Look like Beirut after a bomb. I'm sitting there one day, I'm out of money, and he comes back, he goes, this isn't going to work, we're going to have to dynamite it. I'm like, well, you could have told me that 7 months ago, dude. So we dynamite the hill, and there's rocks everywhere, and I'm out of money. Finally, I find this builder, he goes, hey, here's what we could do. Everyone didn't want to build a house. Remember this, I'm there crying, I've gone broke, it's a complete mess in my life. Finally, one of the architects comes, he goes, hey, you know what we could do? We could repurpose all these rocks. We could use all these rocks to build the foundation. We could use all these rocks to hold up the retaining walls to protect the house from the lake when it overflows. And so guess what happened? Look at the picture. All those rocks, all that mess I made, it's the foundation of the house. All those rocks you see in the front, all these rocks, all this stone, were all on my hill. We repurposed that entire mess and built the most spectacular home in all of Idaho with them. Did you just hear what I said? We repurposed the mess and we built, and here's why. Because God in your life, even if you're not having any faith, God will repurpose your mess if you'll stay faithful. And the deeper the foundation, the bigger the dream. So he was forcing me to build one deep, badass foundation in my life. And he repurposed my mess and made it something great. Most of you come in here with some kind of mess in your life. Financially, relationship, alcohol, drugs, whatever it might be. If you'll stay vigilant, I can promise you this mess you got can be repurposed into building something magnificent. You got to have a little bit of mess in your life in order to build something great with your life. Do you all hear me on that? Say yes. Don't be so ashamed by your mess. We all got them. Everybody in this room's got some kind of a mess they're dealing with right now. Remember when I told you earlier that I think people want to be happier? You remember that part? You remember that? Say yes. I'm going to play you a quick video here in a minute. How many of you have kids again? Yeah. If you don't have kids, picture your future kids. Picture your parents. You know, like guys that in here that have kids, you know, like when you go to their Christmas recital, there's 40 kids up there singing. Who do you see? You see your baby. You go to a ball game, there's 20 kids playing a sport. Who do you see? You see your precious one, don't you? Am I right? You see them. Everywhere you go, yours stands out because they're yours. Do you know for your kids, it's 1,000 times more magnified with you? Did you know that? You give them everything, their entire perception of who they can become. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about happiness. I know a lot of rich people that aren't happy. You learned your happiness from your parents. And by the way, your kids will always love you, but at some age we grow up and figure out in the real world who's mom or dad. Are they a player or not? Do they make a difference or not? Are they happy or not? They're going to figure you out someday, and everything they believe about their life, you're the gatekeeper to. You show them, and they figure out whether you're a liar or not. All your kids want for you, and all you want for your parents is for them to be what? Happier. They want to be happier. And your kids know whether you are or not. Listen to me. They know whether you're lying or not. They're rooting for you. They don't act like they're looking around. They're misbehaving. Mine's 18. He doesn't even want to hang out with me anymore. They're paying attention. They're paying attention to whether you're happy. They're rooting for you. They want you to be peaceful and happy and successful and winning. But they know when you're lying. They know when you're lying. You got an obligation as a man, if you're a man in this room, to lead your family. Step up and protect them and lead and do something great for your family. It's not enough to say, hey, son, you can be anything you want to be. Then why aren't you, Dad? That's what he's thinking. The ladies in the room, you can be happy. Why aren't you happy then, Mama? They know. Let me show you this video to prove it to you. You guys could play that. Hopefully. If we can't, I just built it up.
Daddy is the sweetest daddy in the world. Daddy is the most handsome. The smartest. The most clever. The kindest. He is my Superman. Daddy wants me to do well at school. Daddy is just great, but he lies. He lies about having a job. He lies about having money. He lies that he's not tired. He lies that he's not hungry. He lies that we have everything. He lies about his happiness. He lies because of me.
Got you, didn't I, there? Those of you with kids. Why does that hit home for so many of you? By the way, I told my wife I'm going to get about 1,500 mainly dudes crying before I leave there. So why does that hit home for so many of you? You want to know why? 'Cause it hits home. You were seeing your own dad in that video, or you were seeing your own children. And you know why else? You want to be happier. I'm the happy salesman. I want you to have a happy life. I came here today because I want you to believe and know that you can be happier, that you can win, that you can have intentions to do something great with your life. And it's okay to want that. I'm a big believer in you, man. I know that you have the DNA of the King of Kings running through you, brother. I know you can do something great with your life, sister. I know you can. And there was some point in your life when you were a little boy or a little girl that you thought you were special. You knew you weren't average and ordinary. Maybe you forgot, but there was a moment, I promise you, there was probably one person, too, in your life. I hope there was anyway. If they're not, I apply for the position. I'll help you through my podcast, my YouTube, my social media. It would be an honor to contribute a little drop in the ocean of your life to helping you win, man. I'd love to do that. I'll do it for free. I'm here to just support you and help you because I know what it's like to get on the other side. I know what it's like not to feel good about myself. I know what it's like to be insecure and shy and introverted and down. And I know what it's like to turn that around and kind of every once in a while, not always, I look in that mirror. Once in a while, I'm like, proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. It's the greatest feeling in the world. I want you to feel that feeling. When you were a little boy or a little girl, there might have been somebody, a coach, your grandpa, your grandma, an uncle, your mom, your dad. They made you feel special. How many of you have one person, hopefully a teacher, somebody, your grandpa, your grandma that had that feeling? Yeah, vast majority of you do. Let me give you a secret. They were right. They were right. For me, it was my papa, my dad's dad, Big Papa. I'd sit in the wheel in his lap, and we'd drive around in his van on Sundays. We'd go get donuts before church, and he'd whisper to me, he goes, hey, I was named after him, Eddie the Third. He's like, Eddie, you're going to do something great. You're going to be a champion someday. You know I got 13 grandkids, but you're my favorite. And every time one of them was born, he'd call me, he goes, you know, you're still my favorite. I am, Papa. Thank you. And he made me feel something. I've always wanted to feel that way again. All my life, I've been chasing that. Let me tell you something. I have this hallucination. You can change the chapters in the book of your life if you want to. There's a book being written about you. Even if you don't have faith, would you agree someone's probably paying attention to that you're here? Yes or no? Yes? You can decide, you and God, or you, whatever you believe, you're the author. You can turn the page just like Max did on that golf course. I'm no longer that guy. I'm going to walk different, talk different, think different. It might be a year, 2, 3 before you make your putt. It might be a year, 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win. But you could decide now, I'm going to walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. But too many of you let what I call the extras of life dictate where you're going. You know the extras, you watch a movie, at the end they got the lead characters, then at the end it's like cab driver number 2, bouncer number 3. You don't even know their damn names. But in your life, you let those people dictate what you do. You're afraid to knock the door. You're afraid to go for it because cab driver number 2 in your life might reject you. How about you start playing the game for the main characters? Your mom, your dad, your children, you. That's who you play the game for. You all hear me? At some point, you got to stop negotiating the price and decide your will to win is not for sale. Here's the truth. Most people's dreams can be bought. With enough failure, with enough rejection, they will sell their children's dreams. They can't still fight. They can get a little bit, but when it gets a little too hot, they go, boom, sold, buy the dream. You can have it. It's not worth it to me. And their will to win is buyable. You can buy it. With a little success or a whole bunch of failure, most people will sell their will to win. Some of you have sold it because you're making a little bit of money. You don't work like you did when you were making nothing. You're not after it like when you were broke. Now you got your $50, $100, $200, $300, $400 measly dollars a year, $1 million a year. Not to be rude, but that would not pay my jet fuel. And you think you're making a lot of money compared to what? But you sold your win for a little couple success. Some of you will sell your win for some failure. You're probably buyable. But if you decide at this meeting, my will cannot be bought. I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm going to change my family tree forever. That's the decision. Decide now. You're going to keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought? Let me tell you something, man. I have this hallucination that when I die, I'm a Christian. Even though you didn't know it from my language today, God forgive me. I'm a sinner saved by God's grace, okay? But let me say something to you. I think when I die, when I meet him, he's going to go, well done, good and faithful servant. But I got this other feeling. I think he introduces us to who we were capable of being, who he made you in his image and likeness, the woman or man you were capable. I think he introduces me. Hey, Ed, I want you to meet this guy right here. This is the man I made you to be. These are the places you could have gone. The experiences you could have had, the people you could have helped, the moments, the memories, the way you feel about you, what you could have had, that's the guy right there. And when I meet that dude, I want to go, man, I've been chasing your ass all my life. All my life. And what I want is him to go, bro, I've been watching you. I'm proud of you, man. You caught me. You did it. You got off track a bunch of times, but you kept getting back on track. Every decision I made was to catch that guy. I don't want to get out of this life when I'm an old man and I'm done here and not have maxed out my life. I'm chasing that dude. And to me, heaven would be you catch him. Hell will be you meet that man you were capable of being and you're total strangers. You want to live with that the rest of eternity? Forever? You didn't become the dude. You didn't have the happiness, the peace, the joy, the sights, the moments, the memories, the contribution, the family pride that you could have had. You need to decide. You want to live forever in heaven or hell? And you get to control that. You get to make those decisions. If you'll do all the things that we talked about today, you can change your life. You're in a great industry with great people. This is a great time to be in this economy. And if this Velcroed together Mercedes driving dude can do it, so can you. So can you. The question is whether or not you'll have the courage to step up and fight for your family and do something great. And if you're willing to fight, follow me on social and I'll help you with the fight. It would be my honor to stand with you, man, and your family and just help out a little bit. If I can give you some strength, some inspiration, some tactics, some stuff on the brain, some strategies, I'm here to help you, dude, because we need you to do something great with your life. You were born to do something special with your life. You're not average. You're not ordinary. You were born to do something extraordinary. Amen? I'm over on my time. God bless you. Thanks, everybody.